Well, Blake is the bigger of the two stars. She's the big Hollywood actress that people might instantly recognize.
Team Blake was trying to basically ask for like 2.5 years worth of cell phone records, everything, location, all this data, which felt very evasive.
Praising Blake Lively, who at that very moment was being destroyed on social media over reports of a power struggle with her director.
And we're going to see more of that, I'm sure, in this fight that Baldoni has against the New York Times, as to whether or not the reporter's privilege should apply.
The legal conflict between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively has escalated significantly, evolving from a mere industry feud into one of Hollywood's most significant legal battles of the decade. While Lively and her team have been diligently working to manage the narrative, Baldoni has introduced new evidence that complicates their efforts. Major figures in Hollywood are now becoming involved, and Lively's team is struggling to maintain control as Baldoni gains traction, pushing Lively into a state of panic.
Placating Blake Lively, make her feel good so she'll promote the movie. And on Wayfarer's side, they're like, yeah, don't admit to any of this. The demands included there is to be no spontaneous improvising of any scenes involving physical touching, simulated sex, or nudity with respect to the artist. Physical touching and or comments on artist's physical appearance must only be made in connection with the character and scene work, not as to artist personally, and there are to be no discussions with artist or personal experiences with sex or nudity, including as it relates to conduct with spouses or others, according to Lively's amended complaint. The demands also included Sony agreed to send Giannetti to the set and to hiring an A-list veteran producer to aid Lively and represent the studio. Todd Black was later hired.
Lively's demands included strict guidelines regarding physical interactions and discussions of personal experiences related to sex or nudity, emphasizing that any physical contact should only pertain to character work. Additionally, her amended complaint specified that Sony was to send Giannetti to the set and hire an experienced producer to assist Lively, which led to Todd Black's hiring.
Most recently, in December, he linked to the New York Times article that exposed Justin Baldoni and all of the awful things he allegedly did on set of their movie It Ends With Us. But fast forward now to March of 2025, and December seems like a lifetime ago. As I told you yesterday, Brandon here, who also stars on the TV show 1923, was asked about all the plantation princess drama on the red carpet of the Vanity Fair Oscar party, and he did not defend her. He gave a very canned response about keeping the focus on the subject matter of the film. The subject matter of the film, which he did not discuss while promoting it originally. This guy refused to take any pictures with Justin Baldoni. And this is not speculation, it is confirmed. He posted a photo of himself on the red carpet at the Vanity Fair party on his feed, and he captioned it, Vanity Fair X Long Live the Brooch. Or is it brooch? Brooch? The brooch. The brooch. The brooch. The brooch. The brooch. The brooch. Long live the brooch. So, is he wearing this brooch in solidarity with his bro? This brooch has no significance to DV. To my understanding, it is just a piece of jewelry.
In a significant legal ruling, the court sided with the New York Times in Baldoni's defamation lawsuit, a decision that undermines Lively's attempts to suppress information and alters the dynamics of the case. This ruling is a considerable victory for Baldoni, as it affirms that media outlets will continue to report the truth, while it poses a serious challenge to Lively's legal strategy.
Well, Blake is the bigger of the two stars. She's the big Hollywood actress that people might instantly recognise. Obviously, she rose to fame in Gossip Girl many years ago, but since then she's been in so many different films and TV programmes. And I suppose as well as her sort of curated image that she has as an actress, she's also married to fellow actor Ryan Reynolds. They've got children together. They have this really well curated brand. She is best friends with Taylor Swift. Anyone that was watching the Eras tour would have seen her and Ryan and their children at the tour and at some of the shows. So she is a really big star that has got powerful allies and a huge online.
And she's always been seen as a bit of a golden girl as well.
Oh,
a real
she has.
Aspirational figure.
Yeah.
The court has also decided to stay discovery, indicating that the involved parties are unlikely to face unfair prejudice during this period. The court intends to address the pending motion promptly, allowing Baldoni to respond before a decision is made. If the parties wish to expedite the process, they can file their motions or amended complaints sooner.
And we're going to see more of that, I'm sure, in this fight that Baldoni has against the New York Times as to whether or not the reporter's privilege should apply. And so that's going to be kind of an interesting argument. So then the third ground that the court used to stay discovery is finally the Wayfarer parties are unlikely to be unfairly prejudiced by a stay while the court decides the pending motion. So in other words, hey, it's not going to take that long. The court intends to address the motion promptly after it is fully submitted, which means once Baldoni responds to it, that's when it's fully submitted and the court can decide. And if the Wayfarer parties want to speed this up, they can accelerate their contemplated further amended complaint or their opposition to the motion to dismiss. In other words, hey, if you want to speed this up, file your response to the motion to dismiss sooner, or get your amended complaint on file sooner. Either way, up to you.
What happened here, and there's a lot of sympathy coming towards Justin Baldoni. Now, let's see the evidence. I mean, that's the key here. Show the evidence, give it to the jury. Again, jury trials are about credibility. Who's most credible here? Who's telling the truth? Who can you count on being honest with you with the exhibits that they put in front of you and explain to you what those exhibits are? And if you're honest with the jury, you can go a long way with that.
Now, what happens if we have evidence of timestamps on these photos with the New York Times? Because we have the metadata, it shows that something happened. But let's just say that the court doesn't allow us to get any more information from the Times because of this reporter privilege, and all we have is the metadata that we can extract from the online photos. Can that still be used come time of trial?
I don't know if the metadata can be used. It is possible.
As the case unfolds, there is growing sympathy for Baldoni, with calls for evidence to be presented to the jury. The credibility of the parties involved will be crucial, and the potential existence of metadata from the New York Times could play a significant role in the trial.
Praising Blake Lively, who at that very moment was being destroyed on social media over reports of a power struggle with her director and co-star Justin Baldoni in the way she promoted the movie. Notably, there was zero mention of Baldoni or his company, Wayfarer Studios, which had brought on Sony to market and distribute their adaptation of Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel about a woman caught up in an intertwining tale of new love and domestic abuse. So again, remember when Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds tried to write something for Justin Baldoni to read? I wonder if they wrote the Sony statement. Blake's passion and commitment to advancing the conversation around domestic violence is commendable. We love working with Blake and we want to do 12 more movies with her, said Vinci Cara, who has since retired.
In a surprising turn, Brandon Sanner, who was once seen as a supporter of Lively, has begun to distance himself from her and show support for Baldoni. This shift has raised questions about what Sanner knows that led him to change sides. Recently, he linked to a New York Times article detailing allegations against Baldoni, further complicating the narrative.
I am convinced by Justin's side. So I'm not saying that filing a complaint, if it's an earnest complaint, is a mistake. It doesn't matter what a mess you get yourself into if you're doing the right thing, if it's in furtherance of the truth. But in this instance, I don't know. I just get the sense that Blake didn't think this through and had no idea how far this was going to go. And now look at her. It's a mess. She's got an ex-CIA operative as a PR crisis manager. It's funny, she can hire a PR crisis manager, that's fine. But if Justin does it, it's not to protect himself, but it's to destroy her. The double standards. I can improvise kisses on the set. I can kiss you whenever I want and however many times I want, but when you do it, which we don't even have proof that he did it.
Fast forward to March 2025, and the situation has evolved dramatically. Sanner, now promoting his own projects, has refrained from defending Lively during public appearances, opting for neutral responses instead. His refusal to engage with Baldoni at events has been noted, and his social media posts have sparked speculation about his loyalties.
Team Blake was trying to basically ask for like 2.5 years worth of cell phone records, everything, location, all this data, which felt very evasive. Justin's team tried to squash that. Well, the judge has written back this long sort of information back, etc., but basically coming down to say, yes, Baldoni, you're right, we have squashed the subpoena. The reach was too big, and therefore they agreed that the ruling, they squashed the extent to seek the phone records of Wayfair. The ruling is without prejudice, live parties, several modified subpoena. They basically said, listen, it's ridiculous that you're asking for all this stuff because you're asking for 2.5 years, but you claim the retaliation started in August of this summer. So why on earth would you need all that time? That's the gist I got. Greg, can you elaborate from your legal perspective? Maybe I'm missing something.
The legal battle has escalated into a full-blown Hollywood scandal, attracting attention from major media outlets, including the BBC World Service. With Lively's reputation on the line, the stakes have never been higher. Despite her status as a prominent actress, known for her roles in Gossip Girl and various films, the pressure is mounting as industry executives publicly criticize the lawsuit.
Blake complaining that they're invading the privacy, they're doing all this, but then meanwhile, right, she's on Saturday Night Live with Ryan making jokes, hitting back. I mean, is it not a little hypocritical? Is this a bad look of her if she's trying to tell the courts that we should stop talking about this in public?
Yeah, well, I think this was the equivalent of a swing and a miss, right? I think when they went for a home run, they make a big swing and they completely missed the ball. I think they're going to get sent back to the drawing board. This is not going to be the end of it. You're going to see that there's going to be more. In fact, the judge invites them to do more. But they're going to have to come and do actually some real legitimate discovery, which is what they should have done at the outset, which is tailor it to what they really think they need and start with a subgroup of what they could ask for and get that first and see if that leads to other stuff.
Lively's attempts to manage the situation quietly have backfired, with even Sony executives labeling the lawsuit a disaster. As a well-known figure with a carefully curated public image, Lively's connections and friendships, including her relationship with Ryan Reynolds, are now under scrutiny. In a surprising development, Lively and Reynolds have reportedly hired a former CIA agent for public relations, raising eyebrows and prompting speculation about their motives. This move has only fueled public curiosity and skepticism regarding their situation.
That Blake Lively wanted that Baldoni back crack. When I tell you, Blake Lively wanted to give Justin Baldoni that Gawk 3000. Let me read you some of these text messages that are in the amended lawsuit that Justin Baldoni he just filed. But as you guys probably already know, they have a website. They didn't drop the whole thing. They didn't drop all the receipts. Ciao. So last night, for the first time, I finally watched this movie. Y'all, I was looking for all this domestic violence. I was waiting for her to get her ass beat. I mean, I'm looking for some Ike and Tina up in here. I couldn't figure out, I don't know. Like I said before, that sound like a biatch to me. So, or bottom. I don't know. But let's read what these texts say. And again, this is supposed to allegedly from Blake Lively. So they're talking about the rooftop scene. She wants to take a pass at rewriting. And he's like, yes, I'm excited, blah, blah, blah. This is what she said. This is what, they're going back and forth. I don't want to do all the details. It's going to take too long. But let me get into this. This is what she responds to him. I can send you my pass at the roof. Or just read with you when we get together next week. Let me know what you prefer, with a wink. Somebody close the door in this house so loud.
As the legal proceedings continue, Lively's legal team faces significant challenges, with the court denying her subpoenas against Baldoni, limiting her access to crucial information. This ruling is a major setback for Lively, as her legal strategy begins to unravel.
I'm gonna keep this all in because, I amuse myself. Jamie Heath is his producing partner's name, and in her complaint, she alleged that Jamie Heath showed her rhymes with corn, inappropriate NUDE video. And Ryan Reynolds' wife also made it seem like it was a repeat occurrence, meaning happened on multiple occasions. In fact, you might remember that list of demands that she had to come back to film after the writer's strike. One of them included, quote, no more showing nude videos or images of women, including producer's wife, to Blake Lively and or her employees. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm very familiar with the legal system.
The case has become increasingly chaotic, with leaked text messages allegedly revealing Lively's contradictory comments about Baldoni. These messages have sparked outrage among fans and further damaged her public image.
Got it. 20 minutes. And that's starting now.
Thanks. What did you just do?
I just took a photo. I do yearbook. It's just parents and kids and just casual stuff.
Delete it.
What?
Delete the photo. I told you not to take any photos of me.
But you look good. You look very elegant and your outfit looks amazing.
Delete it now.
Amazing profile. Are you being serious?
You see this bracelet that you made me? Remember this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the oven and bake it.
As the legal battle intensifies, experts are noting that Lively's legal team's missteps are contributing to one of the messiest cases in Hollywood history. The situation is evolving rapidly, and with each new development, it becomes clearer that Lively's position is precarious.
Two main elements to the filing, and the first are actually allegations of sexual harassment. What is it that she is alleging?
So she's made claims against Mr. Baldoni and the lead producer on the film of repeated sexual harassment and other disturbing behaviour. Now, in more detail, these allegations relate to things like his discussion of his pornography addiction, his discussion of his genitalia, and entering her trailer uninvited, including when she was undressed or breastfeeding. They have categorically denied that there was any sexual harassment on set.
And then there was this meeting, this reported meeting, in which she made a list of demands, we understand, that she wanted fulfilled before she continued shooting the movie. I mean, what were those demands?
In January, when they were shooting the film, she called a meeting to address this hostile work environment, as she calls it. And that meeting included executives, but it also included her husband, Ryan Reynolds.
In summary, the legal conflict between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively has transformed into a significant Hollywood scandal, with mounting evidence, shifting allegiances, and a growing public outcry. As both parties navigate this tumultuous landscape, the outcome remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the stakes have never been higher.